Hello, hello, hello. It's your girl Mara Brooks, aka Mara Home Sales, and today I just wanted to talk a little bit about the home buying process. I have had customers to say to me that I made the experience really easy for them to get through it, and that I should share, share just a little bit of knowledge. In the home buying process, the very first thing that needs to happen is to get past the fear of feeling like you cannot purchase a home or feeling like you don't have the ability to purchase a home, when that is absolutely the least truth that you can possibly have. The truth is that there are banks out there who are willing to help you. They are willing to take a chance on you. And one of my favorite banks being 21st Mortgage. Some people might say that 21st Mortgage's interest rates are much higher, but anytime that you're taking a chance on something or you're gambling with something, then yeah, the stakes might be a lot higher, but the end result is always you will get a home. That's just one of the banks that I deal with. I deal with many. There are many different programs. There are constructive programs that you can get into. There is FHA, USDA, VA, all different kinds of loans that you can get into, home only, ones that, consist of land, and the home onlys are chattels that do not consist of property or anything else. But the biggest thing is you have to figure out where you fit in at. Another fear that people have is about their credit scores. The majority of people think that you got to have an A1 credit score in order for you to purchase a home or a home and land package deal or whatever it is that you're trying to do. People feel like they cannot do it because their credit score sometimes is a hard thing to achieve. Well, I am here to tell you that I have not met a credit that I wasn't able to either fix it or go ahead and do what I need to do, in advance or what have you. So do not allow credit to be that thing that puts enough fear in you to where you don't do, take that chance on stepping out and getting into your home. Okay. All right. So step one, get past the fear of believing that you cannot own a home because you can. Be encouraged. The second step is deciding on what product and what bank that you want to go with. Because once you sort that out, then you are able to step out on faith and figure out what it is that you got to do to get to the next step. And that second step is to apply. You have got to apply for the loan to see where you are. Now, you will not know what you're going to be doing. I don't care how many loan estimators that you get on, or how many people kind of give you a guesstimation of what it's going to be. But the honest to God truth is, you will not know what you're capable of until you actually take the step and apply. Once you apply for the loan and you get a response from the bank, then you will know what you can do next. With 21st Mortgage, one of the reasons I like them is because even though a person might not have the acceptable credit or debt income ratio or different things like that in the beginning, they have a section that's called we can reconsider. If there's any way that they can come up with a program to help you get into a home, they are going to do that for you. That is why that is one of my favorite banks. Whereas every other bank will send you a denial, tell you to refer to the credit bureaus to figure out what was going on with you. 21st Mortgage is literally going to get to the point and explain to you why you were not approved, and explain to you how we can get you approved. And I am one that is infamous for following the lines and getting you approved. That is one of the things that I actually do for my customers. Third thing that we have to bring up is what type of a down payment or what type of collateral you need for whichever program that you are approved in. You can do cash, you can do trade-ins, you can do property as collateral. There's other options that you do have that is discussed one-on-one whenever must needs to be discussed. But at the end of the day, where there's a will, there is a way, and your salesperson is that person to get you through the process. of it. You just have to be upfront though. Be as upfront and as straight up as you possibly can with whoever it is that is selling you a home, because the information that you give to this individual has got to be proven with the financial institution that is chosen to do your loan. So you need to be as upfront as you possibly can. So me myself, I ask the questions that I know that the bank is going to be asking on their approval letter, or whatever, to try to get in front of it. I have enough experience as being a mortgage broker before coming into the mobile home industry, and being in the mobile home industry for 8 years. I have enough experience to know pretty much when I hear the story and I hear the debt and I hear certain things, then I have enough experience to kind of lead my customer to the product and the amount of money that I feel like might be approvable. Then we got that fourth step. The fourth step, and probably a part of the second step in applying for the loan, is that income ratio. The debt income ratio, which most financial facilitators call the DTI, is the amount of money that you are bringing in versus the amount of money that you are paying out according to your credit report. So if your debt income ratio is too high, then that's going to lessen the amount of money that you have the ability to finance over a period of time. So that income ratio is something that you do need to think about when you are getting ready to purchase a home. If you know that you got more than 3 credit lines, and that is great. That's a great process to have. If you got 3 credit lines, then 9 times out of 10 you will be safe. As long as you not, if one of those credit lines or 2 of those credit lines or all of those credit lines are credit cards, then you need to make sure that you do not have more than 35% in debt on those cards. That means that when you make that payment, if your card has a $500 limit and your payment per month is $35, and you spend $50 and you need to make an $85 payment, which will cause it to be a amount that is paid in full for 1 month, which gives you a full cycle. And it's almost as if you just paid a loan off in full. And then that gives you great increase on your credit. So if you got more than 1 card, then you need to keep that same energy flowing. If you got vehicles, more than 1 vehicles in your name, and you are financing all those vehicles, at least you gotta try to have maybe minimally 2 in the household. If it's a 2-parent household, or a 2 individual household that has 2 people that has 2 vehicles, then try to make sure that you only got 2 payments and pay those payments on time. Do not allow it to affect your credit. Okay. Some people have an existing mortgage when they decide to purchase again. The bank is going to ask you a question. What are you going to be doing with this loan that you already got? It's up to you whether you say you're selling it, trading it, whatever it is that you're doing, but you're going to have an explanation for that. Okay. That's step 5, determining what are you going to do about that income ratio. If it is a problem, then it might be some stuff that you have to pay off sometimes, just to get your debt income ratio to come down to where you want it to be. And then there is that situation where you can just fit into the budget that you're actually approved for, because the bank is not going to approve you for something that they do not feel like you're going to be able to pay for. They are not, I know that foreclosures is a common thing, but they don't want that. That is not something that they want. They would much rather for you to be able to live in your home, comfortably pay for it for the duration of the years. 21st Mortgage is a 23-year mortgage bank. Triad is a 25-year bank. And then you have your 30-year banks like Cascade, First Financial, different branches out there, different banks, and their longevity in loan is according to whatever their bylaws is. And then some of them is flexible too. You can kind of tell them how many years that you want your loan to be for, or whatever. So, and then the process that we go into once we get the approval after applying for the loan, getting the approval, getting past all that income ratio problems and so on and so forth or whatever. Once we get past that part, then we got the process of the conditions. The basic conditions that you will need when sitting down to purchase a home is ID social. Of course, we got to identify who you are. You gotta be able to prove your income. Every last bit of it. You gotta be able to prove your income. job. Your job plays an important piece in how you are approved and what your interest rate is, and so on and so forth. If you have been on your job for more than 3 years, you have a better chance at being approved, and your debt income ratio has a better chance at being considered to be a little bit lower. But if you are a person that runs from job to job, you will be approved. I can prove your income, and I can make it work. Of course, I don't put my secrets out there how I do things, but you can make it work. But at the same time, though, now you are that person that have drawn a red flag. And in that red flag means that it's a possibility that you're going to bounce from job to job again. And it's a possibility that it might go a time when you might not have the ability to pay your mortgage. So you're a red flag. So therefore, that's going to call for a higher interest rate, because you have a probability of entering into foreclosure, or what have you. Well, all right. So when you get past all of that, or what have you, proving your income, your identity. If you own property, then you need to bring your deed. Even if you're doing a chattel loan, which is a home only loan, you still have to show the legal description to whereas the home will be sitting at. The bank needs to know that if that house is foreclosed on, they have the ability and accessibility to come and pick up their product. Okay, so that's another phase. All right, so we get through all of that. We get through all of the conditions met. There is some smaller other things that banks require, but it's their pet peeves or what have you that you have to get through. But once you get through all of that, all conditions are clear. Then you are in the phase of what they call the clear to close. We have something that we have to abide by that's called a Dodd-Frank law, or whatever, that constitutes that a person has to see the CD or valuation for 72 hours before we can actually close the loan. So once that happens and you open up the documents and you see it, some mail them, some of them email them, but once you see these documents, then you are clear to close. And once we get to the closing phase of the thing, which is always the highlight, everybody is always so excited to get to closing. But once we get to closing and we get everything closed up, or what have you, following that, if you're ordering a house, you're custom building a home, then you got to go through ordering the house, selecting the things the way that you want them to be. And if you are buying a lot model, a house that's already on the property of the lot that you are purchasing from, then we can start the process of getting ready to deliver that house. But then once that house is delivered, you still have a step to go. Once the house is delivered to your property, it has to be insured. So you have to make 2 phone calls. One phone call is to call the bank and notify them that your home is on your property. It is tied down on your property. You have the ability to go into it and view your home. Once you do that, that is when the bank is able to release funds in order to take care of everything else that you're going to need in order for you to get past the inspection. Once you get past the inspection, a C of O is issued, which is a certificate of occupancy. That certificate of occupancy is what releases your power. And then the power company is able to come out and get your power, cut on to where you can actually live in your house. And the final phase, after you get through that part, there is something called service. Service is that part that most dealers fail at. And the reason I said most is because the relationship between the buyer and the seller was constituted from the beginning of the deal until the end. But at the end of the deal, once the home is sold to these people, that is not the end of the relationship. There is going to be sometimes that customer still needs that salesperson to answer the phone and get them some help. And that part right there is where a lot of people fail at. And that is something that us here at Ironwood Homes of Perry, we try not to let that happen. If you will, look us up, check out our Google reviews. You'll see that we do try to do right by people. We do try to answer when there is a problem and there is an issue. For me, I like email because I'm able to pass that on to the factory so that I can get you some help as fast as I possibly can. Some of us like to talk. I like to email. So, all right. Well, I'm Maura Brooks. My company is Ironwood Homes of Perry, located in Perry, Florida, on Highway 19 South. If you will, come on down here, see me. I have not met a credit, as I said earlier on in the video. I have not met a credit that scared me off and made me not want to sell a house. Not only do I sell homes, but I help people to build their credit up. I help them to dispute and get things taken off of their credit, so that they are able to be eligible for the interest rate that they want. All you need is a 575 credit score. It is not hard to be approved for a home, and with that, you need 10% down. 10% down can be a trade. It can be land equity, as in your property, meaning you not have to come out of pocket with anything. It can be cash, what have you. Whatever it is that you need to do, you just need to sit down with me, and I will get through this thing with you. But the biggest step, and step number one, is to get up the faith, bind up the fear, come out, apply. Let's see what the bank says, and let's get it done. And for more information, go ahead on and send me over an email, marabrooks77@gmail.com. Feel free. Hit me up, and I will answer your questions that you have. I thank God that I'm very knowledgeable in the industry, and I can help you. I just need to know what you need. I can drop ship pretty much anywhere in the nation or what have you. So give me a call. Give me an email. And if you want to give me a call, you can call the office. It's 850-838-9090, extension 5. And my name is Mara Brooks. Thank you. Please do not forget, subscribe to my page, hit that notification bar, subscribe to my page, share it, like it. I appreciate you so much. Thank you, and welcome to the family.